Uh-oh, Felix. What happened? What's up, everybody, and welcome. We're actually sitting on a 270 Boston Whaler dual console. It's a pretty simple one here. I just have a stereo to replace. This is just an upgrade from the 205 to the 210 here, which is Fusion or Garmin because they own each other. Or Garmin bought Fusion, I should say. Anyway, we also have these pressure switches right here from the last video because I got a comment, which makes sense. Let's ohms test these and see which one has failed, and I'll show you that in a second here. But first, let's start the video by going back in time, and we got some Fisher Panda parts, and I want to show you that, so take it away. So we are back on our Aquila here. It's a 32 Aquila. We have our little 5K generator here. This was in 2 videos ago where I showed you the throttle actuator sticking and what to do if you wanted to force it to have RPMs. But we got our new throttle actuator in, and I'm surprised because looks like they've done something right here. I've changed enough of these out to know that they have a failure rate, and they've switched them over the years. But look at this. I'm going to zoom in on this. Hold on. That's pretty sweet. It's got a metal body on it. Look at that. Looks like they've done something right here because they've had too many failures. So like, we're not going to deal with this anymore. Let's do it right. Pretty nice. So hopefully with this and our new boost board here, a different software version, shouldn't have any more problems with this. So if you have a problem with throttle actuator, call them and get this coming because this looks like the cure for all of it here. So let's hope we have no problems with these and these can go away. So back to you, future me. Alright, well that's pretty cool. They updated the throttle actuator. So let's test these here before I put this stereo in. I'll show you, we got our meter here. First, if we touch these two together, touch our leads together here. Oh, you hear it? So we're going to listen for that noise. That means we have a connection. We are touched together. So we'll leave that. We should be able to touch our circuits together and watch and see. I'll try to do it all at the same time. I'm going to set the camera down here and we'll see if we can get this all together real quick. So here's our switch. This is number 1. This is the one I'm pretty sure that I tested it was good still. So we put these together like this. When I touch the other one, it should make its contact. See? Now let's see if I can push the button. The button turns it off, so you have power flowing through it all the time. And then the pressure builds up with the water. Get my fat fingers on there the right way here. There's that click. Now it's off. On. So this one is good. That was the pump that failed on that one. Now this one here, it's a little bit different. I think this is obviously going to be the one, if we touch these together, it ain't going to make any noise. So let's try that. There we go. Now we should have, I'm not touching anything here, no buttons or anything. We should, nothing. Not good. So this one has failed. It's stuck open instead of closed. It should always be closed until you push this button. And then you can hear it too. It sounds like it's working, but obviously it's failed. Whatever internal piece in here is no longer working. So it was a pretty cool idea. Thanks for that comment. And it's cool to show you the open and close, real simple circuit here, how it works. And obviously one's failed, one's working. So now what I need to do is pull the stereo out of the dash. Just a 205. I'll compare them. I'll show you real quick. But first, let's go to the future. And I have a boat to go look at and diagnose here. So we'll cut to that. It's just like a 19 Sea Ray that's got no start. My guess is maybe a battery or, I don't know, key switch, something like that. So let's jump to that. When we come back, we'll finish putting the stereo in. Well, there's our problem. Dead battery. We got 4 volts on her. And we're going to bring it back to the shop here and at least try to charge it, but that's why this thing won't start. So, battery's bad. That was a good guess. Not really much I can do but get this thing charged and come back another day here and hopefully check out, make sure everything's good, starter's good. But little Sea Ray, I was in and out. It's too hot to be messing around and filming out there. So, back to you, well, I guess earlier in the day me. Alright, we are back in the past here, not in the future. And we have our stereo out. The good thing is they're the same hole cut out, same screw holes here, so there's no modifying anything, just a different stereo, which is actually a good thing because the new one has 2 zones coming out of it, where the old one, I'll show you something they had to do here, which is wire the speaker wire in. But here's our new one, here's our old, so hopefully this is a good upgrade because this one has failed. And we have our normal harness here, power, ground, amp out. This thing's got 2 amps in it, NEMA connection if you're NEMA into anything. So first, let's get our wiring done here, and let me show you those couple things I was talking about. This is just our auxiliary in, which is right here. There's our input, so if you want to hook your phone to it through a line, you can. Go back here, squeeze myself in the hole here, see how well you can see. What we have right here is auxiliary line in and out. For some reason they've tied the speaker wire to these zones to control them. And then you got 2 amps down here, which you just have auxiliary on both. So I can get rid of that splitter there that was hooked to the speaker wires, and we can tie right into the radio now, so that's a good thing. And it's got Sirius, so let me squeeze myself in here and we'll get all this stuff wired up and see if it works. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. I had to cut this out right here. This is what I was talking about, to have speakers going into it, speaker wire to come out with RCAs. So don't need that anymore because this stereo has outputs for zone 1 and 2 already. So we can bypass that. That's better, should be better quality here. One thing too to do if you're changing stuff, wrap tape around everything. So you have tape this one. I was checking our zones to make sure I had forward and or bow and I guess helm area here for what connections I was, so I didn't tape these off yet, but I'm gonna tape those off. Obviously got to screw our stereo into the dash. I'll go behind, make sure we're tied up good. And we have our auxiliary in. We got Sirius satellite here. Here's our antenna. But it sounds good. These amps definitely make a difference. Lots of bass here. Sounds good. So now let me finish this. I'm gonna put some tape on there. We'll get that back in the dash, and I actually got to take off from here and go to the boat that I already showed you in the video, the one that won't start. So hopefully it's an easy one to figure out here, but obviously you've already seen it. I don't know what's happened yet, but we'll get there. So as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time. Later. Alright, we got no more check engine light, but that's because I cleared it. It was actually the EGR valve. So hopefully we don't have any more problems, Felix. Now we're going to be changing that EGR valve out.